So the question I'd like to start with is, so we asked the question, everyone was asked, to look at how they would cut if they were forced to cut. And we saw that they were mostly cut from the part that had the least amount of immediate impact to the organization, the transformation portion. And very few people, it seemed like in the audience, would be uncomfortable going back to ask for increased investment during those tough times when you're having to make cuts. Why do you think that would be the case? Why would you think people would be reluctant to go back and try to get an increase in the budget?
I think, fundamentally, I think that the discomfort in going back to the business and asking for more, for more funding is that we don't have that trust relationship with the business that when we're asking for more money, there's a business reason for it. I think that there is still a disconnect and a lack of a common purpose or a common belief or a common, to borrow, Simon's term, is like the common why. The why is about the business. If I could turn around when the business is saying cut 10%, and I go back to the business and I say, no, why don't you invest 10% in me, and I'll help you to cut 10% across the entire business by, improving efficiencies and finding different ways for you to execute on the other areas of the business. That's a different conversation, but I don't think that many of us are comfortable in having those business type of discussions, and we don't have those trust relationships built that we actually have a common purpose, a common why. We are in the same business. We are not in IT. We are in the toy business. We are in the milk business. We are in the insurance business. We just happen to work in the IT department.
So do you think the reason the reluctance is that we have the lack of confidence from IT to be able to have that meaningful conversation with business and the executive level of an organization? Or is it that we think it's a lack of trust that the business and executives would have with IT to deliver transformational or growth opportunities with that additional investment?
Yeah, I think it's both. I think the lack of confidence in going to the business is because we don't believe that the business trusts us.
Okay.
And the big reason for that is the business is always squeezing us, saying you need to do it, for less money. They don't understand fundamentally what it is that we do. And I would argue they don't need to understand what we do. The business was there first. The toy business existed way before technology did, but the business was there first. IT needs to break down that barrier between IT and the business, build a trust bridge by changing the dialect, making sure that we are intimately informed on what is the industry that we're in, what do our competitors look like, what are our competitors doing, what are some of the innovative things that people are doing out there in our industry, so that we can then, on their playing field, on their terms, have that business discussion.